So he calls like last minute. He's like, I think I want to bid on this house. And I look at it and I know the street and I know the neighborhood. And it's a 5-minute drive from where I'm at. And I'm in Orleans when he called me. And I'm like, man, the bids are like, it's over in 2 hours. I'm having lunch and I'm like, okay. So I booked the appointment, get in, I take like a 10-minute video, upload it. And I've sold that model of home. I've sold about 5 of them in the past. I think it's actually the model I've sold the most of any home. So it was kind of like it was happening for a reason kind of thing. Cause like I knew where things were and I was like, this is actually probably the nicest one I've seen of this model. So I just pointed out a few things that he's going to have to get fixed. And other than that, and he's like, thank you for the video. This makes it so much easier.
So when he sent you the link, there was only 2 hours left in the bidding and you went to see it and then started bidding and won.
Oh yeah, bud.
Finish. You're listening to the Ottawa Real Estate Podcast with your hosts, Paul Stevenson, David Warren, and Greg Campbell. Let's see what's going on in the world of real estate today.
Hi, guys.
Yes.
The Ottawa Real Estate Podcast. We are back. Greg's a bit blurry. It's Monday. Beautiful day. That's sunny. And
I'm a bit blurry in more ways than one, Paul.
We are here to talk about real estate, mortgages, and whatever else we want to talk about. I know we got some great stories today. It's going to be storytelling hour. Just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor before I even introduce everyone, North Brew, northbrew.ca. If you go to northbrew.ca and use the promo code podcast, you'll get 20% off all your coffee orders. My name is Paul Stevenson. I'm here with Greg Campbell. I'm here with David Warren. I am one of the owners of Referral Mortgages. I'm also a mortgage agent. Dave is also a owner at Referral Mortgages and a mortgage agent. And Greg Campbell, Ace Realtor, managing director at the Agency Ottawa. The Agency. Gentlemen, how is it going today? How are we doing? How was the week?
Week was great, man. You guys want me to just get into some stories here or what?
Yes.
Jump into it. I wouldn't even bother.
Charlie Murphy us.
Our eager listeners. So I, everything I did last week involved referral mortgages. So that was kind of cool just to think about it.
As it should.
Good work, boys. The first one, interestingly enough, is, they're all really great stories, but the first one is Unreserved. I won on Unreserved and I was doing the bidding while I was messaging my client. He was watching it and then he was like basically saying, go ahead. So I have like a whole record of the thing. Cause that was my thing. I'm bidding like under my name because something happened with the registration. So I called them, they're like, just go on as yourself. We know who you are and go ahead. So anyways, it was cool. So it was pretty intense. Just watching it go up, there was like 6 involved. Then there was 4 of us involved. Then there was just 2 of us. It was me and this other guy. And it was, it was exciting. I'll be honest. I'm not going to lie about that. It was, you're just sitting here, you're watching the numbers go up and you're like bid, click, and you can choose like 2,500, 5,000, 10,000.
It's like eBay.
Or you have like a cap you can put in there where it goes to auto bid. So what happened was we were going up. And then this guy kept like, as soon as I would bid, it would auto bid, so he would outbid me immediately after. Like, so I'd go ding. It's like, you just bid. It's like, ding, you've been outbid. I'm like, oh, okay, well, auto bid in action. So that was a pretty cool feature for, some people, I guess, if they want to cap out and not worry about having to just constantly put in bids manually. Anyway, so we got to the top and, I talked to my guy. I'm like, let's just hit 5,000. Let's go 5,000 more. That's it. Top price. I go, I don't want you paying anymore for this house. He's like, that's great. Anyways, we did it. We got it. And then it says sale pending. So we're kind of like confused, and then I'm like, I know exactly what happened. The reserve wasn't met. So with Unreserved, there's kind of like a guaranteed price. I'm not sure exactly how it works. So I can't speak too specifically about it. But it has something to do with a price that they're somewhat guaranteed through the company.
So Unreserved was reserved?
Unreserved, they have a reserve for the property. I don't know if it's a guarantee or how it works specifically, but they have a price that they tell their seller they should get this. So the reserve wasn't met. So I get a call. I was expecting the call, obviously. And the guy was great. And we were just, we chatted about it. He's like, the reserve wasn't met. It's substantially higher and everything. And I'm like, well, he's like, kid, you guys want to come up at all? And I'm like, no, it's 610.5. I'm like, that's our offer. That's clearly market value right now. And that's what the buyers are willing to pay for this property. So anyways, he's like, I get it. Totally understand. Cool. I'll call you back. Calls me back probably about an hour and a half later. Anyways, we got it. So it was done. He's like, the sellers are going to accept your offer. So now I don't know what happens with that discrepancy money.
I have questions.
That's not a you problem, though. That's not a you problem.
No, it's not, right?
Reserve problem.
And that's the question, right? Does the company guarantee a dollar amount to cover for the split? Or I don't know, or does the seller just agree to do it? Because I think what may happen, I don't know if they're doing it yet, but they might have a program coming where they go back on the market with a regular realtor, because I believe they are becoming a brokerage now. But again, this is just, I'm guessing here.
Questions. It's quite need a question period. So first question, when you're waiting for your offer to be accepted, I think it's a 5-minute window, right? That it like resets for 5 minutes. If you get outbid.
Yeah. So you get outbid and it resets for 5 minutes, but then after, I think 15 minutes, it starts resetting at 3 minutes.
Okay. So when were you just like sitting there with the client? Because I know this is our client, so that's why I'm wondering. Were you just like waiting, counting the seconds, like 3?
Yeah. Like so he's at home, right? And I'm just messaging him, and I'm like, he's watching, so I'm just like, yeah, okay. He's like, what do you think? I'm like, do I have your permission to go, basically? And he's like, yeah, go for it. So I bid, then he watches it. But it was hilarious because, like, on the last one, I was just playing the whole game here, right? Like, I know I'm about to bid 5,000. Like, I know that I'm just coming in with a stronger bid here, feeling good about it. I wait till like there's like 5 seconds left, click it, boom. Even the guy at Unreserved, he's like, dude, you were giving me a heart attack those last 3 minutes. He's like, I didn't know you were gonna bid in the end. But anyways, it was, you just watch the screen and watch the time and it goes.
That's pretty fun.
So that was fun.
In a hot market where homes are selling way over asking, I feel like Unreserved, great for sellers. When there's a lot of product on the market and, you might only get 1 or 2 people bidding. I feel like it's going to happen often where that reserve is not met. Would you agree? Like, it seems like it's certainly built for a hot seller's market.
It is. I think right now they're going to run into more of what happened with us. I don't know how they're going to adapt that. I did
see something posted last week or 2 weeks ago on social media share of or maybe it was in an article in the paper that the reserve wasn't hit, and it went, no, nobody got it. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how they adapt in this type of climate, because it is definitely in a sellers or a hot market, it will thrive. But
from the only way I can see it working for this is if they have like a plan B in place, where is if the auction doesn't work, then the seller already agrees that if it doesn't work, that they're going to list it in a more traditional format.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're
completely screwing the buyers. Like, the whole point is it makes it even for the sellers and buyers, but then the buyers are getting screwed, right? If they do that, it's like, hey, you're getting a deal, but it's too good a deal, so we're going to put it back on the market. It's like, well, no.
Yeah. And the house becomes tainted, it was part of the process. It's like, why didn't it sell? And then, the realtors do their research and they can tell their buyers why it didn't sell. But they're going to list at what they think the market value is now. But I mean, with the way the market's going right now, if you're telling someone, especially like, you start the process maybe 6 weeks out, you tell them that it's a certain price, you need to be having the conversation with them before you list, whether it be Unreserved or anything, just like, the day before you go on the market. Because right now pricing is crazy. Pricing is all over the place right now. Like, buyers, sellers, agents, everyone's like, I don't know. You got to look. You really have to look at the data super intelligently, and it's getting to the point now where there's no way you can you're going to have to price less than whatever is going on if you want to be competitive. And and I don't think, like, I mean, holding offers, there's, we always say this, the really nice ones, we're still seeing it, but in general now, a lot of homes are just coming out for sale. Yeah.
And for the realtors that are listening, you mentioned that your client had issues registering. You were able to contact Unreserved, register your own account, and they just were aware on the back end and facilitate the negotiations, kind of, or the bidding, I guess, on their behalf.
Well, and they knew me, so it was kind of like, it wasn't like they didn't know me at all and there was no trust. It was like he's like, no, I know who you are. It's cool. Go ahead. Just do it. We understand. And I'm like, all right. And then right away, I'm like, okay, well, as long as I have a track record of me communicating with my buyer that he's telling me to bid, so that it, if we won,
because there's a lot riding.
He's like,
on
no,
it, right?
no, I don't want it anymore, right?
Yeah. But I mean, I guess it's the same idea, really. Of you negotiating with another realtor, they're giving you authorization to go to a certain price or to negotiate, and you do that behind the scenes anyway. So it's kind of the same idea with this. This is actually, they're able to watch that negotiation, if you will, even though it's just virtual and back and forth.
Yeah, but it was great, and that was a referral from you guys. So that's awesome. Thank you. And he's so happy and very grateful for all the service he's been getting. Great guy,
great human. So I'd say, like, with Unreserved in a hot seller's market, my fear with that would be people overbidding and then appraisals coming in light, which I've seen twice recently as well. One in Toronto came in 700,000 light, and one in Ottawa came in 200,000 light.
And these were specifically Unreserved listings?
No, but I'm just saying
you're just saying,
it has happened. So I'm just kind of thinking of it. And then I would say, like, in a current market where it seems a bit more balanced, that would kind of be the fear, is that people are like, the people that are bidding are going to get a good deal, which is great for the buyer, but sellers are going to be like, well, I'm not doing this. Like, why would I, that, and again, it speaks to having that realtor that can actually look at the market data and say, okay, this is, like, give them an educated perspective of what's going on, as opposed to just, let's list it and see what happens.
Yeah.
Someone on the street sold for 700. Let's list it around there.
And it's interesting because next year, I think it's in, I think it might be April 2023. I don't know why it's not just in January when the market's super hot. Maybe they'll change it, but sellers are going to be able to choose now if they want to have blind bidding or if they want to have, like, transparent bidding for multiple offers.
When is that?
Early next year. I think it's April 1st, 2023.
So it'll be up to the seller.
It'll be up to the seller. So I mean, that's
cool.
I don't know how well that's going to work in terms of, the seller making the right choice for themselves. Cause it's like, do you want to force people to compete and continue blind bidding, which is the big thing that everybody's hating, so are they going to be that listing that hates it? And some people might just stay away from it, knowing they can go buy another house that has transparent bidding, like I guess
it'll be the numbers. Like, to me, it'll be the statistics. Like, you'll probably have to post on a listing that it's blind or transparent.
Yeah.
And so, basically you'll have to, I guess, track list price to final sale price on those blind versus transparent, and kind of the realtors will have to educate the clients as far as what the stats are, that, blind bidding gets you X over or doesn't, and transparent does X.
And educating the sellers and buyers differently. Eh? It's like, well, blind bidding, really good for you, seller. And hey, buyer, we should not look for the blind bids. So I wonder, is the real estate board going to create a platform for that? Or is it more so just that realtors can actually tell each other, like, this is the bid?
I think it's just going to be up to the agents to have open communication about it, but it's going to, in one way or another, it'll have to be tracked. Like, already we're supposed to keep every offer that comes in a multiple offer situation. We're supposed to keep it recorded, keep the paperwork logged, just in case something happens. I don't think everybody does that, but we're supposed to be doing that. So I think with this, it'll be way more strict.
It'd be funny if they backdate it one day. Like, now everything's open. All realtors, you have to upload every offer that you've ever received.
Oh, man.
And go back to every home you've bought and be like, how much did I overpay for that place? That's awesome. That's a great story. We've had a lot of people asking about Unreserved too on our last few weeks of videos, like, just wondering what's happening with it. Is it still prevalent? I know for a while
they're listing a lot of properties. They're listing a lot of properties right now. So I mean, they're doing okay. we'll see what happens in the new market, because it's definitely not built for this new market. So they're going to have to do something to.
And they're already, they're obviously pivoting. If you're saying that they are clearly going the traditional agent route and broker route.
I believe so. Yeah. I believe they're registering as a brokerage now, and they're going to have agents that actually trade, just so that they can. And I mean, it's smart, I think, in the same sense, because for all of the buyers who aren't represented that compete, where are those leads going? So it makes sense for them to have a brokerage with realtors that they can, work with and help them buy other homes more traditionally. So we'll see. Anyways, it was an interesting experience. Like I said, it was kind of fun, and he wanted the house. And I'll tell you another crazy part of that story. So we didn't see the house. So I saw the house. This is another part.
So not only were you, so you saw the house and you were bidding. Interesting.
Yeah.
Greg.
Right.
Greg's got a 10% ownership. He's lending them the down payment. Yeah. He's co-signing.
So he calls like last minute. He's like, I think I want to bid on this house. And I look at it and I know the street and I know the neighborhood, and it's a 5-minute drive from where I'm at. And I'm in Orleans when he called me, and I'm like, the bids are like, it's over in 2 hours. I'm having lunch, and I'm like, okay. So I booked the appointment, get in, I take like a 10-minute video, upload it. And I've sold that model of home. I've sold about 5 of them in the past. I think it's actually the model I've sold the most of any home. So it was kind of like it was happening for a reason kind of thing. Cause like I knew where things were, and I was like, this is actually probably the nicest one I've seen of this model. So I just pointed out a few things that he's going to have to get fixed. And other than that, and he's like, thank you for the video. This makes it so much easier.
So when he sent you the link, there was only 2 hours left in the bidding, and you went to see it and then started bidding and won.
Oh yeah, bud.
Well,
start to finish.
No, and
finishing his lunch, like last bite, like, gotta go. Runs to the property.
But it's great like that. I was fired up. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, let's do this. Go see the house, come back, get, it's like it was like quarter to 2 when I get in. The bidding's got 15 minutes left. I'm all like, open the computer, get on. I got him on the phone. I'm like, yes. Just crept in at the last minute, kicked ass. That's amazing.
That's great.
Great story. Charlie Murphy.
Yeah. But I mean, anyways, it was a good price for the right house. Anyways, enough of that one. I got a couple more for you. So
next story.
I'll tell you next story. So I got a great rental. Again, it was a referral from you guys. Great guy. And we're putting that up this week. It's a 2-bedroom condo at 199 Slater. I'll have the video. I think I might want to go back to listing videos next week, because I got a lot of stuff coming up. That'd be fun. Those were fun.
The 1 minute, 1 minute to win it.
Yeah.
The 1 minute, the countdown.
1 minute countdown.
So that's good. That's coming up this week. And that was from you guys. And then I got and then we did the deal with Ben yesterday, or on Sunday, Saturday. The deal that we didn't think was going to happen at all. Oh, I guess that was actually Friday. Okay.
I don't know.
With time just flies here. Yeah. So that was another one. So we've been working for a while. We had never submitted an offer yet. We hadn't found anything. And then they found this one property that they just fell in love with. And we went in at list price. Didn't really think we'd get it, because there was other offers. And when I got a call from the agent initially, he's like, can you guys come up at all? I'm like, no. I'm like, that's all we're willing to pay for the property. We figured the no conditions and the quick close, would help. And he's like, yeah. He's like, there's another offer. He's like, it's got a condition, but it's way higher than yours. And I'm like, okay. So like, he's like, yeah, they're going to take the other one. I'm like, all right, cool. No problem. Thanks. Call the buyer. Yeah. So we didn't get it. And then, 2 hours later, I get the call back. So Greg, you'll never believe this. My sellers have really thought about it, and they decided that they wanted to take the no conditions offer. They want to take your offer substantially lower. But they wanted it. So then we were kind of like, okay, well, why do they want to take our offer? But I mean, it's one of those things, right? I've been in the situation before where it's been my seller, I've advised them to take the cash offer, the unconditional offer, and they haven't, and then it backfires. Something happens with financing or an inspection or cold feet the next day. So I think they must have had heard before something like that happening, and they just wanted it done because they were moving into their new house in a couple of weeks. So they just wanted it done. So anyways, we got it, and it was a big win for these guys because, like I said, we've been talking for a long time, probably since last July, I guess.
Yeah.
And we've seen a few, but we had never submitted on anything yet. So it was our first offer when we got it.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny having these conversations because you get so used to, looking at tons of homes with people, losing offers. And then with these guys, it's like, you see a few here and there because they were pretty specific. And the first offer we won. So it was almost like, you're on the phone and you don't really know what to say. You kind of like have that pause going like, did that really just happen? They're like, really? Like we actually, like we won. We got the house, like it's ours. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I'm like, I know. I'm like, this doesn't happen. Like this doesn't happen, but it just happened to you.
So for you, Greg, as an agent, if someone calls you and says like, can you come up a bit? What, from a negotiating standpoint, like what are you thinking? We're actually close. Are they trying to just nudge for a bit more money? Like what's your actual like process in educating your clients?
It's we shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to. And I understand why the selling agent or the listing agent is asking me or other buyer agents that question, is because a lot of the deals right now, the sellers are not getting what they're expecting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of become common where it just turns into a different type of negotiation where they come back and saying like, can you come up at all? But on everything, like, I mean, I did it twice, both of those, I was like, nope, we're not coming up. You guys got to come down, and we got it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy that it worked that way.
Well,
I find if you stick firm and everybody's on the same page, then you're gonna, you're giving the best service to your client. And, in the end, even if they lose it, they're going to be happy because you just kind of, you stuck with it.
Yeah, I think even on the Friday night, Greg and I spoke. It was maybe 5:30 p.m. and Greg even said, "We're not going to get this. There's already two other offers, like that, not happening." I was like, all right, well, keep me posted. That's
definitely going in at asking these, like recently was like, well, you're throwing a dart basically.
Yeah,
I'll tell you a funnier part of that story that I was in the middle of something and I had my ringer off, and I had so much going on. I was out with my kids and I was doing some running around. And then I just looked at my phone and it was like, 4:45, and I see messages from you. I see messages from Ben. I'm like, oh, it's 4:45. Offers are at 5. I'm like, all right, just get on the phone, send all the information to my admin, Nadia. Fired it off, had it over to them, done in like 30 minutes. And it's good. It's fun. I like this job when it's when you're action.
So easy when it's working, eh?
Jump into action. But this is the thing, like agents who are new and haven't done it enough. Like, I mean, I remember I would get stressed out of my mind, like, with like a 15-minute window and everything. And right now I'm just like, no, this is perfect. Lots of time, as long as and as long as you have systems in place to handle it, it's fun. I mean, it makes it fun. I love
2 hours for bidding. No problem. Greg's on it.
Yeah.
So what are the numbers looking like, Greg? You got as far as listings sold, like
so
what's the current landscape?
I got a pretty big breakdown here. Does Steven have that? Yeah, there it is.
The agency.
Of course he has it. He says he had it. I gave it to him and he said he had it. So this is year to date.
Well, this is great.
And I'll follow up after this is done. But so if you look closely, you can see, I'm not going to read out all these numbers, obviously.
If you're listening, go to YouTube and look at these stats.
Yeah, seriously. And if, next time I'll probably just round these up. But anyways, so you see detached, semi-detached. January, they're up. February, they all go way up. March, up again. And then April comes back down. But the year-over-year comparison here on the end, like, for single-family detached, 11.7% increase. Semi-detached, 5.8% increase. Townhomes, 13.6% increase. Condos, 11% increase. Days on market, this... anyways, it went back down. It was at 10 in April. That's changing now. I think we're, like I said in the last show, I mean, we're hitting 2 weeks fast for days on market. And the months of inventory, it was 1.2 months in January, 1.2 in Feb, 1.3 in March, and 1.5 in April. I think that's going to be 2 in May. So we're really coming back Number of sales highest in March again, back down in April. So
Mildly down in April.
Mildly down. It's not a big, I think May is going to be really telling. I mean, which I keep talking about every episode we've had so far in May. This is the month, but there's so much on the market right now. For example, I have a fabulous listing in Orleans, and there's 10 others. Ours is the only one with a single car garage, and we're 50,000 less than the other ones that have a double garage. Nothing has sold in 2 weeks in terms of a single family detached home in this area, in Bradley Estates, Trails Edge, Merbleu, in Orleans. So that's interesting. And I think, what'll happen is one will sell and then they'll all just kind of fall in line, but it's challenging. So
the thing I found surprising in that is that January was 24 days on market was the average. I thought it was actually much lower than that.
See, that's an overall
that's condos and everything too, right?
So that's condos, and that could also be some new builds that have been sitting for like a while,
right?
That wasn't like a super deep dive in anything. I'll be right.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be and I think looking at the 1.5 months of inventory on that, they say a balanced market is 3 months. So it'll be, as we keep creeping up, that's where we'll start seeing that things kind of level out even more. But either way, we'll I guess, like you said, Greg, I think May will be very telling as we come to the end of the school year. Weather is nice out. People are getting out and about, thinking about that summer move as opposed to, right at the end of the school year or anything like that.
I think August 30th will be the new June 30th this year. June 30th is typically the busiest closing day of the year. I think that'll be like an August 30th. That'll be the hot day right before school starts. Let's just cram it all in there 1 week.
I think by summertime, properties are going to be selling in and around list price. I think that's just going to be where it is. I've already seen it start to happen slowly. Super happy about that.
Yeah, and I know.
And now the next question is now, and I think we're going to get into it a bit here. The rates. Now, the conversation you have with people is, I'm going to save more money, and then I'm like, well, if you're going to save more money, the interest rates go up. Like, are you really doing? Like, are you not just doing? Is it not just the same thing? You buy a house now, maybe it costs you a little more. Let's say it's 10,000 less in a few months, and then the rates are up 2%. Is that not the same thing, basically?
Yeah, you're actually further behind. But
Further behind.
It'll be, I think all of that, we say May, and I think, Paul, I think you're right, of a later summer to kind of see where the numbers actually end up being, whether it's busy or not. June 1st, we have the Bank of Canada now, up the next rate announcement by the Bank of Canada for what they do with Prime is June 1st. Everyone, it's caked in basically, and assuming a 0.5% increase to Prime. Some are saying they could go historic and go 0.75%, but I think that'll be telling to see how that slows down the overall economy. And then beyond that, fixed rates continue to go up. We saw it this past Friday and Thursday, a number of banks increasing their fixed rates because the bond market that fixed rates are tied to continues to soar. So as that keeps going up, how that changes things. And I know, there's been talk from OSFI and of what to do with the benchmark rate. So we've talked about it before, but when you're qualifying for a mortgage, it's based on a set benchmark rate, which is the 5-year fixed rate plus 2%. Or 5.25%. So right now, if you're looking to get a fixed rate mortgage, you're having to qualify at that fixed rate plus 2%. So right now you're in the 6.5 range for what you're having to qualify for, which really does, scale back your qualifying amount and that affordability from a qualifying. But the flip side of that is if you're qualifying based on a variable rate mortgage, you're only having to qualify at 5.25 right now. So there's a huge difference right now because there is such a large spread between the fixed and the variable. So if somebody's trying to max out what they qualify for, and I've been sending out a number of pre-approvals this past week to clients, this is based on a variable rate mortgage only. This is not like, this is what you qualify for on a variable. This is what's on a fix. And it's a huge difference because you're talking 1.5% difference typically for what payment amount they're qualifying based on. So OSFI has been having conversations of, they can make a decision in December when they came out with their new change about a year ago now, where they just pegged that qualifying rate at 5.25%, that they can make an adjustment in December. So, they're saying we might not wait till December, or it'll be interesting to see what they change that qualifying rate in December to, depending on where the fixed rates are. So people that are on the sidelines based on rates or prices, don't wait too long, because a lot of these rule changes will diminish your affordability anyways. So people that were on the sidelines saying, well, we're waiting for housing prices to come down, you were qualifying at 5.25%. And their rates were, in the 3s or in the 2s, things like that. Now the rates are stabilizing. Yes, you can get some conditions. Maybe you're getting like them a little bit less, but your rate is 2% higher. You're qualifying at 1.5% higher than what you were before. So your max qualifying amount is dropped, and your monthly payments and how much is going to interest is so much higher. And that's only going to increase as prime goes up, as fixed rates go up. So, and as we get closer to any sort of adjustment within that qualifying rate. So, it's certainly, you could certainly wait for the market to continue, for more inventory to come on the market. But as these rates keep going up, that is diminishing your affordability, or what that looks like, and also increasing your overall cost of borrowing, which is well more than that 10 or 20,000 less than you're going to pay on that property up front. So long story short, we always say, we've been saying it for ages. It's not always good just to sit on the sidelines and wait indefinitely, because there's never, that perfect time is never going to be.
Put me in, coach.
No.
Yeah.
Put me in. I know. And I think the rates, I'm sure you guys feel the same way. I think they're going to go way up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we're going to hit like an 8% at some point here.
There's it'll be interesting to see how high they go. There's a lot of talk. There's, in the US Feds, like a lot of the, like Goldman Sachs and all that, they built in a 35% odds that there'll be a recession in 2023 because of where bond yields are going. We're in the 6th week of the stock market decline and heading into bear territory. And so, there's already been 10-year treasury bonds inverted. So there's all these signals headed towards a recession. So as they keep going up, to strip money out of the rates go up based on bond yields going up, strips money out of the market, causes, we head towards a recession. So we're going up right now. It'll be interesting to see if we fall right back down as well. But, at the same time, as we fall back down, prices maybe drop. And then people are like, well, I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to get a house now. The prices are dropping.
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy now. I'm going to wait for them to be going up.
Yeah. So funny. Just like the crypto last week. Went way down. Coaster. Some came back up.
Still
I'm just dollar cost average.
Buy.
Yeah.
Bye.
But should we get into some mood boosts?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Great stories, Greg. Storytelling. Like it.
Thanks. You know what? I like sharing the stories because it's just, I think it kind of gives, it's real, and it gives people a sense that things are okay. You just got to have the right people on your team and figure it out.
Real Ottawa real estate, podcast. All right. Got 4 today. I'll let you guys be the judge. Number 1, what cocktail should you drink with a friend? A Bloody Mary. The correct answer is any cocktail. Number 2, today I gave away my dead batteries. They were free of charge.
Yes.
Might have used that one a year ago. Feel like I might have. Number 3, what animal needs to wear a wig? A bald eagle. I can relate. And last but not least, we all know Albert Einstein was a genius, but his brother Frank was a monster. That one's a lagger. You gotta think about it for a second.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad.
Okay.
Couple in there.
Heading into the week like, woo.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a good week. I think we're going to see a lot of action. A lot of action in the market. People pulling the trigger. There's a lot of inventory now, a lot of options. Pick your poison.
I agree. I think there's going to be way more sales this week than there was the last couple of weeks.
We'll be back though. Anyone still listening? Send us your reviews, send us your questions, topics. We'll get to them. Thank you as always. Make sure to subscribe. Just keep listening. That's it. That's all we ask. Quick shout out again to North Brew, northbrew.ca. Use the promo code podcast. Get 20% off your coffee. Shout out to Referral Mortgages, all of our amazing agents, our operations team, Holla, and the agency Ottawa, doing great things, changing the market, changing the industry, changing the way we do business. Greg Campbell, David Warren, Paul Stevenson. We'll be back. Thanks, guys. See you soon.
Deuces.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe because we'd really like that.